Hi YouTubers and subscribers. I'm out and about today on my road bike and I'm visiting an area right here in my backyard where the fires had actually, this is the area where they had jumped across the river and they had proceeded into these fields and started to burn. It was just devastating, and this is actually where they had evacuated a lot of the local people and had brought them down to the fairgrounds, those who had had farm animals. And I'm going to be heading up this way, but you can see, look how green everything is here. I'm going to be heading up the valley here, and I'm bringing my video camera with me, and I'm going to be showing you the after effects of the fires here in the Panhandle. I am coming up on my bike here. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to stop just for a second. Okay, I'm going to pan in, see if you guys can tell where the burn is. That area right there is all burned. And if you can see the top, that's all burned too. That whole mountain was eaten up by that fire. So we're gonna go and check it out. Well, we are here at the trailhead and there looks like there's a couple things that say the trail is closed. But I'm going to be, you know, I'm a reporter. So I'm doing this for, you know, reporting things. And I'm not going to go up very far. I'm just starting up the trail and you can see, look at that. It's just, it's unbelievable the damage these fires do. Look at the color. And the smell, people. If I could have some type of smell thing that you could experience, it is so strong up here. Now, as I run up this trail here, it looks like some of the areas burned a little hotter than some of the other areas. There's patches like this patch here. You can see the ash, and it's just fills up this little gulch here. And then on this side too, you've got a lot of ash. But then if you look up here, it's not as bad. So I could only imagine, you know, I feel so bad for the wildlife, because in this area there is an abundance of wildlife. Look at that, all that ash, and look at that. And where they went that day, I don't know, but this fire, when it was burning, we had 60-mile-an-hour winds, and that's why it jumped over the river that day and then headed into the fields. Now, because this is such an inaccessible place, you can see it's quite steep, and the river is down below. They just let it burn. So now you can really see why they couldn't get up here and fight it. And I was talking to a Forest Service guy who had worked fire duty, and he said a lot of the fires that start naturally from lightning strikes that are in wildlife areas like this, they will just let burn naturally. You know, it's nature. They will let nature take its course. And I believe with this fire, that's exactly what they did until the winds shifted, and then lo and behold, it started heading down. Here's another quick view. And just imagine this all being engulfed. And then, you know, below is the valley. And look at where that river is. That's where the river is. It's a long, long ways. So those winds must have been pretty bad. One last view before I keep going up here. You can see how steep this terrain is. You know, you can compare to over there. We got a big gully with the river down below, and this just climbs. So there's no way firefighters could have gotten in here and fought this. So it truly was a forest fire that they just left alone. And the way I look at the burn, it looks like it was probably a low burning fire, kind of what we had up our road, because you can see the trees. Obviously, you know, you look, there's still some green trees. A lot of the underbrush all gone. So it doesn't sound like it got super, super high until those winds came. So there is the river below. You can see, people, it's quite a ways away. And I'm going to get back on my road bike and continue on and find where it actually jumped the road and jumped across the river onto the other field across. So I probably only biked not even a quarter of a mile, and there was a lot of burn right along the roadway, and then I hit this nice lush green area. Then I want you to look ahead. I don't know if you can see that, but that is where it jumped across the road, right up there, and I can smell it again. Well, here's a perfect view of where it crossed. All this is burned, and you can see it just jumped right across the road and started heading right here, right down there. And if you look real close, you know, there's a farm out there, and there's houses littered along here. Well, it looks like I found the hot zone. This is, oh, it's so bad. Look at all these trees, just black. And then on the other side, I don't know if you can see this. Let me try to get up there with my bike. This is like being on Mars. Look at that. Hang on, people, I'm sorry. Look at that. That is a burn. Look at that. There is some devastation. So this, it must have been the heart of that fire, because there is nothing left here but just pure ash. And you can see how they were cutting all those trees. Came right down here to the road. Look at that. And it just goes and goes and goes all along here. These are not fall colors. These are the colors of the fire. So I'm just off my bike showing you the incredible heat that must have been in here. It swallowed up the ground. So I'm actually in the midst of the burn. And just look at this. It even burnt old logs that were on the ground. This is, here, look at that. There is so much ash. This is the hot zone. And the hot zone that goes for a lot of acreage. Look at that, there's nothing on the ground. It's like being on another planet. Wow. And this, like I said, goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. So right on the side of the road here, it says locate. And if you look up here, look at this. Wow. That is what the fire left behind. That is, I mean, there's just no words. I just think about those firefighters that were out here night and day. God bless them. God bless them. Wow. Well, it certainly is a surreal feeling here, being amongst all this burned timber. And here's an area that it looks like was burning, and it just dropped off. It just started to tumble. And if you look real closely, all of this burned, and look at the tracks that go out to the field. This was burning. And right across here, the river is over there, if you can see that, and then all those trees are actually across the river. And if you look real close, they are burned. This was a really devastating fire for this area when it started getting out of control. Well, I'm gonna head back, people, but this is the after effects of a fire, and we will survive. And this is the thing I want to show you real quickly here. I'm gonna bike this out and just leave the camera on, but already, look at that. God is good. So even though this fire was devastating, it will regenerate. And the plants and the trees will all come back and continue on in the cycle that God created. Okay, God bless, guys. Now I'll just leave the camera on for you as I head back home.